Imagine this. You open your eyes in the morning, not from rest, but routine. You reach for your phone, scroll through a sea of posts, ads, headlines, and distractions. Then you get up, go to work, return home exhausted, and repeat. Day after day, week after week. But here's the question. What if you're not living your life, but living a script you never wrote? Pause. Let that sink in. You chase dreams that don't even belong to you. You follow rules no one asked you to question. You smile through stress, applaud busyness, and call it success. But deep down, something feels off, doesn't it? Like there's a quiet ache, a whisper asking, "Is this really it?" Today, that whisper becomes a voice that dares to ask, what if everything you were taught about happiness, success, and freedom was designed for you to believe? What if the life you're living was carefully constructed, not for your fulfillment, but for your obedience? This is not just another video. This is the moment everything changes. Let's dive deeper. Since the earliest civilizations, humans have always lived within systems, tribes, hierarchies, traditions. These systems used to be simple and visible. You knew the rules, you knew the roles, but now the systems are invisible, slick, sophisticated. You live in a web of digital landscapes, media echo chambers, and cultural norms so subtle you don't even realize you're playing along. We call this normal. But what if normal is the new prison? We think we're free. We believe we're choosing. But ask yourself, who told you what success looks like? Who defined beauty, worth, or status for you? Why does rest make you feel guilty? Why does stillness make you anxious? These are not flaws, these are symptoms of a deeper system designed to keep you chasing, but never arriving. French philosopher Michel Foucault called it biopower. Control without chains. No need for walls when people learn to police themselves. We wear masks, follow trends, and crave approval, because deep down, we've been programmed to believe that who we are isn't enough. But here's the truth that society hides. You were never meant to be a machine. You were born to be, not just do. This is your wake-up call. If something inside you has always felt a little out of place, if you've ever looked around and thought, there has to be more to life than this, then you're not crazy. You're awakening. You are not behind. You are not broken. You're simply buried beneath expectation, distraction, and roles you never chose. But guess what? You can rise. You were told you're free, that you have choices, that you're the author of your life. But how free are you? Really? Think about it. You were given a name you didn't choose, taught beliefs you didn't question, trained to fit into boxes, student, employee, consumer, follower. You've been marketed to since you were a child, conditioned to chase things, grades, jobs, likes, approval. And the scariest part? You think you chose this. But freedom isn't just the ability to pick between options handed to you. Freedom is the power to create your own options. Yet most people never do that. Because from the start, they were never shown how. We go to schools that don't teach self-awareness, work jobs that drain us, compare ourselves on apps designed to manipulate our emotions. We keep busy, not because we're driven, but because slowing down forces us to face the silence. And in that silence, the truth waits. That you've been running from yourself. Because facing yourself, your real self, is terrifying in a world built on masks. But it's also the key to everything. Why do you think stillness is so rare? Because in stillness, the programming begins to unravel. The things you thought mattered start to look hollow. The roles you've been playing feel heavy. You start to see how much of your identity was shaped, not by who you are, but by what the world expected you to be. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize your job title isn't you. Your body isn't a brand. Your worth isn't measured in likes, followers, or dollars. You were always enough before the world told you otherwise. But the system doesn't want awakened souls. It wants compliant ones. People who conform. People who doubt themselves just enough to stay in line. The moment you start asking why you work the job you hate, why you chase things that don't fulfill you, why you silence your own voice to fit in, that's when the illusion starts to crack. And once it cracks, that's when real freedom begins. Not the freedom to escape life, but the freedom to reclaim it. This isn't self-help fluff. This is revolution from the inside out. Breaking the cycle, all right, so now you see it, the system, the illusion, the programming. But awareness alone isn't enough. You've got to move. Otherwise, you're just a conscious prisoner still sitting in the same cage. So how do you break free? Step 1. Stop outsourcing your truth. The world is loud. Everyone's selling something, an identity, a lifestyle, a shortcut. But silence? That's where you hear you. Real truth doesn't scream. It whispers when you finally shut out the noise. Start asking, what do I believe? What do I actually want? And who would I be if no one was watching? Write it down. Sit with it. No filters, no performance. That's the beginning of deprogramming. Step 2. Question everything you inherited. Your beliefs, your habits, your goals. Did you choose them? Or were they handed to you by your family, your culture, your feed? If it doesn't feel like you, it's not yours to carry. Step 3. Take small, rebellious action. You don't have to burn your life down overnight. But every time you choose presence over autopilot, truth over approval, self-respect over convenience, you're planting the flag of your real self. You're saying, I'm done performing. I'm done pretending. I'm building something real, even if it's messy. And yeah, it will be messy. People might not get it. You might lose some friends. You might feel lost for a while. But that's how rebirth works. You have to let the false version of you die to make space for the real one to live. You've been asleep in a dream someone else designed. Now it's your turn to design your own reality. Living awake in a sleeping world. So now you're awake. Not fully maybe, not perfectly, but the fog's lifting. And once you've seen the truth, you can't unsee it. But here's the thing, nobody tells you, living awake in a world that's still asleep, it's hard. You'll walk through crowds that are hypnotized by hustle, validation, and screens, while you're trying to move with intention, purpose, and presence. You'll feel like the only one asking real questions. The only one uncomfortable with pretending. The only one who can't go back to normal. That's not weakness. That's the cost of awareness. But here's the reward. You start making decisions from your core, not your fear. You attract people who see the real you, not just your mask. You stop chasing and start creating, not for approval, but for expression. You stop living someone else's life and finally begin to live yours. And yeah, it's quieter out here. Fewer people. Less applause. But what you gain, peace, integrity, alignment, that deep sense that I may not have it all figured out, but I'm finally living in truth. That's priceless. Closing message. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. It's about waking up again and again, every time you forget. Because awakening isn't a one-time event. It's a daily choice, a daily rebellion, a daily return to who you actually are. And every time you choose truth in a world built on lies, you become the permission someone else didn't know they needed. Outro. If this hits something real inside you, share it. Send it to that one person you know is ready to hear it. And let me know in the comments. What's one truth you're ready to live out loud? Until next time, stay awake, stay real, stay free. The Quiet Revolution. Here's the truth most people miss. The real revolution? It's quiet. It doesn't look like shouting. It looks like choosing differently when no one's watching. It's leaving the toxic job, even when it terrifies you. It's saying no when your whole life you've been a people pleaser. It's turning off the noise and listening to you. That's rebellion, not the loud kind, the sacred kind. You don't need a stage to be powerful. You just need to live aligned with what you know to be true. Every time you choose presence over performance, truth over comfort, stillness over scroll, you are undoing the program. You are healing in real time. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't just know what matters. You embody it. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to wake the world. Just wake yourself, fully, authentically, repeatedly. Because when you do, you'll become the mirror, the lighthouse, the signal. And without even trying, you'll remind others of who they are too.